Aaron Rodgers breaking his silence after his days of darkness. He says that he is back into the light. We've got a soundbite to run for you and love to hear your thoughts on the other side of it.
All right.
I feel really good about the conversations that are going to be had, that have been had with important people in my life, yourself included, that help to orient me. But I'm not looking for somebody to tell me what the answer is. All the answers are right inside me, and I touched many of them, and definitely the feelings on both sides during the darkness, and I'm thankful for that time. But there's a finality to the decision, and I don't make it lightly. I don't want to drag anybody around. Look, I'm answering questions about it because I got asked about it. I'm talking about it because it's important to me. If you don't like it, and you think it's drama, you think I'm being a diva, whatever, then just tune it out. It's fine. But this is my life. It's important to me. And I'll make a decision soon enough, and we'll go down that road and be really excited about it.
All right, Rich, you've been waiting to hear from Aaron Rodgers, and this is what you heard. What do you make of it?
I totally buy it. I totally understand it. And I think part of that soundbite as well, Suze, and I hadn't heard it yet. I read it. I read the excerpt. And I think part of his excerpt is in that soundbite included him pointing out, like, you know, he used to be the Jordan Love in this equation, and that Favre, I was talking about it just yesterday, you could call it drama all you want, and yes, obviously darkness therapy and somebody being so open about being in touch with feelings and things of that nature, people might find is, I guess, what would you call it, unconventional or a little bit out there. This is just him. And, you know, Favre waited till much later than a week like this or even next week to render a decision one year, and then reversed it in June. So this is nothing in terms of over drama. You may think it's eccentric, but I hear him, and I just don't know what his decision's going to be. And like we discussed, yesterday, just hearing the conversation of the Packers wondering if it's the right fit, I think he's wondering the same thing. And it's probably very difficult after 18 years to sit around and think maybe the spot where I'm so closely associated in my entire life has been, I'm not a fit there anymore, and I don't feel like I'm fit there anymore. He's got to make these choices and live with it. And then obviously the ripple effect of that will be felt by all these other teams here. And this will absolutely, if we don't hear anything more from him now on the subject matter over the next 2 days, be a major part of the conversation when the quarterbacks get out there in the on the field in the for the combine drills on Saturday. So I believe it, And how many times, Suze, in when Total Access started and NFL Network started, did I call you and say, it's going to be a couple hours. I'll meet you wherever I'm meeting you, because Favre was out there trying to make a decision, or he retired and unretired. It was nonstop.
Yeah, it was Favre watch all the time. I mean, that's basically what it amounted to. But yet again, it's with your Jets, because the guys here in the studio seem to feel like you do not want Aaron Rodgers in New York. Is that true?
Because Suze, you just come on. You're a Columbia grad, and I don't just say that to point out how smart you are. You spend as much time in New York as anybody I know.
There are a lot of Shambhala studios. There are sound baths and yoga studios. There's dark and light.
Got it. I got it. And Shambhala products, I'm not afraid to admit, they're very good for the skin and for the senses. But how would that soundbite play in New York City? What you just heard.
You mean for the back pages of the Post, you mean? Is that what you're worried about?
Just for Fireman Ed. Could Fireman Ed understand getting in touch with the feelings? You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
Right.
I mean,
Joe Beningo?
This is a guy who many people need to look at to spell out a 4-letter word. So, I mean, come on. I just don't find it it would play well.
But Rich, the guys think you don't want him because you're comfortable losing, and that you come from a place of complaining, and so they're afraid that you don't want him there, Rich, because you might win a couple games, and I know that seems foreign to you. But the guys are basically saying that you're comfortable in the loser seat. Is that true, Rich Eisen?
Okay. We have now reached the awkward portion of this interview, not because of what appears to be obvious, but I know I'm treading lightly with you, Suze. I need to hear this from the guys. Is this an accurate description behind my back of what you think I'm saying about Aaron Rodgers? I need to hear it from you.
Behind your back, I mean, I would say it if you were here. Your identity for 50-plus years, your whole life really, as a Jets fan, has been a loser. Wow. And so that's how you're like Charlie Brown. Like, you wouldn't know what to do if you started winning. So, like, the idea, like, I don't want Rodgers because we might win. You're just afraid of success and afraid of what your new identity might be because you spent 53 years being, as a Jets fan, loser.
Yeah. Your 2 years, these last 2 years, one of the things you can't.
What 2 years? They're in the past.
Last 2 years. No. The last 2 years of Mac Jones and the coaching staff isn't right, and the roster isn't right, and the losing that happens, and the blown out by the Bills. These things you can't. It doesn't compute.
Better record than the Jets.
Your day and age of water skiing behind the Brady yacht. Suze, you always used to tell me the stories of going to the old Foxborough and sitting on those tin can benches.
Yeah, the Mosey Tupu years, they were dark. They were cold. They were cold.
Oh, my God. You water skiing behind the Brady yacht for as long as you did. It's exactly why when Brady left New England, I looked at you on the show and said, welcome to the rest of us.
Right. I get it.
Mr. Big highfalutin saying that I don't want Rodgers because I'm afraid of winning. Get out of here with that noise. I want to win. I just don't think he's the guy to win. As a matter of fact, Derek Carr is meeting with the Jets right now somewhere in this town. I am going to find them. I'm going to barge in there with a pen and a lawyer. I'm going to find a lawyer. I don't care who it is. I'll just drag him off the show. I don't care if it's the Saul Goodman of Indianapolis. I'm going to go find him, the pen. We're going to hammer this thing out.
Take the pen, Rich. Take the pen.
Rich, is Ed Hockley there? You can get Ed.
Brilliant. Ed Hockley. No, that was our last road trip.
Would you rather sign Derek Carr today or be offered a seat on the Rules Committee?
What's more likely?
What's more likely?
He don't like Carr that much.
No, he wants to be on the Rules Committee so bad.
Competition Committee.
He wants that so badly.
DJ, I'm in this room. I'm standing in front of Podium 2, where in 20 minutes Mike McCarthy is stepping.
Okay.
Wow.
You should live stream that.
What do we want to ask? What do we want to ask here?
How are we going to improve our offense a little bit?
Stop.
Are we going to get?
Stop.
No.
Stop.
Okay.
I need a question.
How about why you got to do me like that?
I don't have anything off the top of the dome, man.
I literally have an avenue to ask a question for you to your head coach in 20 minutes.
I tried to give you one, and you said no. You didn't like the question.
I'm going to say, how are you going to improve your offense? Come on. Ask that to an NFL head coach. Come on. What do you got?
That's like saying, what's your second half adjustment? That's a rough question.
I think I need to hit this mimosa before this interview's over, and then
I don't know what you're waiting for. I just think it's ridiculous.
I don't have a good question.
A lot of thirsty people in the studio.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.